What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports, and we are here on the SEC channel at the Voice of College Football, continuing our 2022 schedule previews. Vanderbilt is up next, the final schedule that we have to look at in the SEC. Before we get to 2022, let's look back at 2021. Here was the Vanderbilt schedule from 2021. You see just 2 wins, Colorado State and UConn. They did lose to an FCS, to Eastern Tennessee State, also losing to Stanford in the non-conference. Playing Stanford in the non-conference, had the one Power 5 team, but really they should have probably won the other 3 games. Then you look at who they had to play out of the SEC West. They play Ole Miss every year. They had to play them on the road. And they also played at Mississippi State. So that's who they played out of the West last year. If you're a Vanderbilt fan, I've got some bad news for you, because that SEC schedule, it's going to be even tougher this year. Here is that schedule, and let's just look at who they play outside of the SEC East. And here you go. Hawaii on the road, which is actually a week 0 game. We'll talk about in a second. They'll play Elon. They'll play Northern Illinois on the road. So those 3 games not bad, but look at their Wake Forest. Wake Forest, a preseason top 15 team. So you're going to have a very tough non-conference game there. And then out of the West, they will play Ole Miss, who could be 2nd or 3rd in the West this year, and also on the road at Alabama. It doesn't get much tougher than that. So, I mean, yeah, you do have the 3 games that they should probably win in the non-conference, although 2 of them are on the road, Hawaii and Northern Illinois. So those are not guaranteed wins. They did lose to an FCS team last year. But overall, I mean, Wake Forest there in the non-conference, Alabama out of the West, this is pretty tough. They start off there with Hawaii. That's a week 0 game. So we're going to get an SEC team playing in week 0. That should be a lot of fun. Elon after that, then Wake Forest on September the 10th, Northern Illinois on September 17th. So they play all 4 of their non-conference games in their first 4 games of the season. They'll play Alabama on September 24th. How about that to get you started for SEC play? They get a bye week after playing Alabama. Then they'll play Ole Miss at home. So they'll play their first 2 non-division games at the beginning of SEC play, and they'll have all their non-conference games out of the way, which means after Ole Miss, the rest of their games, they're all division games, all SEC East opponents, which is interesting. They'll play Georgia there on October the 15th, then Missouri on the 22nd, both of those games on the road. They get another bye week after Missouri. They'll have 2 bye weeks because they play week 0. Then they get South Carolina on November the 5th, Kentucky November the 12th, Florida November the 19th. Kentucky is on the road, Florida at home, and they close out with Tennessee at home on the 26th. But you look at that schedule and SEC play, who's Vanderbilt going to beat? I mean, it's hard to see them winning really any of these games. You know, if you had Missouri at home, or, you know, they do have South Carolina at home. It's going to be very tough for Vanderbilt to win one of those games. I think, you know, you look at the non-conference schedule with Wake Forest, that also will be a very tough game. So there are only 3 winnable games on this schedule, perhaps. So yes, very tough schedule for Vanderbilt in 2022.